Welcome to Best Practices in Marketing. Timing is everything. How nurture marketing builds long-term success. And now, here's Lori Stutzman, President of Extra Mile Marketing.
Today we're going to talk about nurture marketing. We're going to talk about what it is, what it's best for, how to use it, and what your next steps are. So let's get started. So first, we get asked all the time, what is nurture marketing? And really all it is a systemized approach to keeping your leads and customers warm, so you're in front of them when they're ready to buy. It ensures that you have proper communications at every phase of the marketing funnel, so that when customers are ready, you're there to be right in front of them, and that's who they're going to buy from. It also reaches both your existing customers and your referral sources. So you want to make sure that you're in front of all your referral sources on a regular basis so that you can get them to continue to provide leads for you. And I know it sounds like a lot of work, so marketing automation can help, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. So first, why use nurture marketing? Well, research shows that 35 to 50% of sales go to the vendor that responds first. So the reality is, if you've got a nurture marketing plan in place, you can be the vendor that responds first, and you can get that sale. Right? The other thing that's kind of surprising to me is that 65% of B2B marketers have not established lead nurturing. If you get ahead of that game, you can really be the one that capitalizes on it. What are the steps of nurture marketing? Really what you want to do is create a continuous circle of communications to your leads and customers. So when somebody first comes to you, they're just kicking tires, right? They're thinking about that I want to know a little bit more about the product or service that you might carry. So you really want to be informing them and maybe educating them. And then once they've gotten really some information about the product or service, they want to know more about you. So there you want to engage with them. Then they're going to want to validate that you really can do what you say you're going to do. So you want to make sure that you have really good information about your company and the value that you provide. And then you convert them into sales, and then once they're a customer of yours, once they've bought something from you, you want to keep that customer alive too. You want to increase the overall lifetime value of each of your customers. The key here is to be able to move prospects through that sales funnel, and we all know how difficult it is even to get people at the top of the funnel. So how do you get them at the top of the funnel and then keep them moving all the way through the funnel? So first, at the top of the funnel, that's what we're going to call the tofu part of the funnel. And that's the information gathering stage. So these are, we'll call them suspects. They're early prospects. They're not really ready to buy yet. For those people, you want to be in listen mode. You want to hear what are their interests, what are their concerns, and you want to make sure that you map your products to their business issues that are out there. Now the middle of the funnel, or the MOFU group, they're in decision-making process, right? So they are now prospects. Those are what you would call leads. Right? And in that case, you want to be in inform mode. So now you want to tell them about your company and you want to demonstrate your value. At the bottom of the funnel, or the BOFU group, those are people that are ready to buy. So you want to make sure that you're talking to them with information about how you're going to support them after the sale, what kinds of education are you going to give them, what's your service guarantee, those kinds of things, because those are the people that are in they're qualified leads. They're in buying mode. And so those are the people you really want to build relationships with. So using the right messaging and call to action is super important in every stage of this funnel. At the tofu level, or again, that top of the funnel, you want to focus on education. So here's where you might want to offer solution sheets that tell about your products or services. Maybe you want to offer a white paper. Maybe you want to do a booklet that talks about key business issues. You want to invite them maybe to events or have a way to interact with you and get more information about the product or service that they're interested in. Now the MOFU stage, that's the people that are considering the purchase. You want to talk about your company and how you're different from everyone else. And if you're not really sure how to talk about your company in a way that sets you apart from your competitors, I'd recommend that you watch the marketing planning video that's part of this series. And that's really going to help you with your value proposition and how you can talk about yourself to show that you're better than everybody else out there. Here you want to make sure that they move to the next stage of the funnel, right? You want to get them into that bottom of the funnel. And so that's where you might think about doing things like special offers or a free assessment, a way to get more engaged with them so they're ready to go to the next stage of the funnel. The other thing I'll mention is here's where you really want to address their key objections. So if you can do some thinking about what kinds of key objections a salesperson might hear then those are the things that you can address in your marketing. Now at the BOFU level, they're ready to purchase, like we mentioned. So this is where you finally want to introduce pricing, because now they're just figuring out who they're going to purchase from. They know they're going to purchase. So here's where you might think about special pricing, maybe to close the sale. And then again, talk about the support you're going to give them after the sale. So we work with about 7,000 partners all over the world, and we've seen lots of best practices of what partners are doing around nurture marketing. Some of the ways that they're doing a great job is that they've established a cadence for nurture marketing. So they have an annual plan that they look at quarterly and update quarterly that allows them to look at, as a group, what are they doing from a nurture standpoint. And they try and check in both with their marketing team, but also with their sales team, and see what everybody's doing. That cadence and that plan helps them to deliver consistently. So they can deliver their messaging consistently, but they can also be consistent in their tone, their relevance, and their execution, so that everything that you get from a company should look like the same brand. You don't want to compete with yourself. You want to make sure that all the pieces flow together. The one thing I will say is that if you don't do a great job of nurture marketing, then you might start something that you can't finish, that you're not completing. And then what does that say about your company? And what does that say about you? It might say that when you start something and it gets tough, you might not be able to complete it. So make sure once you get started in a nurture marketing plan that you really stick to it. It's very important. And then you also want to personalize your content and delivery. The more you can talk to a specific person in your marketing, the more effective it's going to be. So we like to recommend that you take your lists of people that you market to and you split them into sub-lists. So you might split people up by industry, you might split them up by roles within the company, and then you can really personalize your communication to that type of customer. Some of the things that we've seen partners doing for nurturing are things like offering educational or premium content, or they might host an event, or they might send out tchotchkes, which I would say if you're going to do something like that, make sure you have something that is desk related, that will stick on somebody's desk as opposed to something that's disposable. They might send out personalized emails, personalized to a person or to the company. Ask people to sign up for a newsletter or for a blog. They might make calls to highlight a particular special promotion or maybe an event coming up. They also use their social media connections to continue that nurturing process. And then they also attend events where their prospects and clients are already going. So instead of you trying to bring everybody to you, go where they are, and then maybe you can do an event within an event. And again, if you're not really good at doing events, there is an events best practices video in this series that I would recommend that you take a look at. So referrals are key. Well, we all know that referrals are key, right? All of you tell me that the majority of the way that you get sales is through referrals. But this actually new statistic that came out is sort of staggering. 84% of B2B decision makers start with a referral. 84%. So how important is it for you to nurture your referral sources, right? The key to referrals is being top of mind. So if you're not out there on a regular basis talking to your referral sources, you're not going to be top of mind. So you really need to be thinking about what do your referral sources know about you, how often you keep them updated, and do they really know who the best people are for your products and services? So marketing automation is a great way to kind of put this all in a package for you and make it a lot easier. What it does is instead of you sending out, say every month, you send everybody the same email or talk about the same product or service. What this allows you to do is stagger those based upon how long you've had a relationship with somebody. So somebody comes into your marketing funnel and maybe they've just come into the funnel. You met them at a trade show, for example. Then 30 days into that cycle, they'll get an email from your company that introduces your company with more depth. Maybe 60 days later, you invite them to an event that they could attend. And then maybe 90 days later, you're following up after the event. But this allows you to build the content and then put it in an automated system so that when you drop a name into the automation system, it sends out your communications with that regular cadence. So this allows you to focus on the content rather than trying to navigate through who should get what on each month, right? It allows you to get through that. So the benefits of marketing automation is that it saves you time, it improves your communication because now your communication is correct for their stage in the buying cycle, and then it overall increases the customer lifetime value. So let's get started. What are our next steps? First, I'd say let's download the Nurture Marketing Getting Started Guide, which has a lot more in it than I could cover. Brainstorm how you can add contacts into your funnel, right? And how you can track their patterns so you can see where the right communication should hit. Brainstorm the content you could have for every level of that funnel, for the tofu, for the mofu, and the bofu phase of that funnel. And then check out some of the partner resources that are available. The Ready to Go site has a ton of materials that can help you with nurture marketing and a lot of the content that you are going to want to send out. And then MCC, which is Microsoft Community Connections, is really great for helping you with events that are one of the best ways to do nurture marketing. So thanks so much for coming, and with that, happy marketing, and we hope to see you soon.